The 2024 Bugatti Bolide, the track-only hypercar, will enter production and arrive in 2024. Bugatti has announced a new extreme version of the Chiron. They did so at Quail, at this year's prestigious Monterey Car Week. Dubbed the Bolide, it is a car with a name that is as cliché as its design. But didn't Bugatti take the wraps off of the Bolide last year? Well, you're right. However, the Bolide Super sports car you saw last October was just a concept, and Bugatti has now decided to put the Bolide into production. Overview. As we know, Bugatti is one of the world's most unique and prestigious brands. With a brand name as strong as Bugatti, it was among the first car manufacturers to introduce vehicles with horsepower figures in excess of 4 digits. Last year, Bugatti debuted a novel concept racing car at a rather modest setup by Bugatti standards, because apart from its many speed records, the supersports car brand is also associated with luxury. The manufacturer, which is primarily French but managed by Germans, offers a 1,500 horsepower luxury super exotic in the form of the Chiron. But despite the nearly inhuman level of horsepower generated by the Chiron W16 engine, Bugatti feels the need to create even more powerful variants in the form of the Pure Sport, Super Sport, and now, the Bolide. The bespoke bodywork. Compared to the standard Chiron, now you can't use the word standard with a Bugatti, can you? But compared to the Chiron, the Bolide sits considerably lower, and being a track weapon, it features extreme aero with everything from an air splitter up front, a roof scoop, a giant wing, and a massive diffuser. All in an effort to help this thing stick to the ground at some serious speeds. The super sports car has a very aggressive stance regardless of the angle that you're viewing it from. Certain components used on the Bolide have been made using 3D printing. With the generous use of titanium and carbon components, the Bolide has managed to achieve significant weight savings of 1,100 pounds when compared to the Chiron, and tips the scales at 3,196 pounds, which is ultralight as per hypercar standards. We are proud to have succeeded in keeping the production vehicle so close to its technical demonstrator both visually and technically, while also enhancing the design, quality, and vehicle safety, explains Bugatti CEO, Stefan Winkelmann. Performance. Most cars from Bugatti are known to be true powerhouses, but none have ever made it this far. Despite having a design that is purpose-built for downforce, this fantastic asphalt monster can exceed 310 miles per hour on the track. All of this is made possible by the legendary 8.0-liter W16 quad-turbo engine and the 1180 pound-feet of torque. You also can't dismiss the remarkable weight savings that Bugatti has achieved with the Bolide. You have to take a listen to that W16 on the Bolide when it made its first public appearance in Milan a few months ago. On the concept car we saw last year, the 8.0-liter W16 engine from the Chiron produced a massive 1,850 horsepower and 1,850 pound-feet of torque. However, Bugatti has decided to tone that number down to 1,578 horsepower and 1,180 pound-feet of torque. That may sound discouraging, but Bugatti argues that the power decrease is due to the engine being suited to 98-octane gasoline, whereas the concept car required 110 octane, which is, of course, not available everywhere, at any time. Despite this reduction in power, the Bolide's performance is on par with the Chiron Super Sport 300+. Because, what the Bolide loses in horsepower, it gains in performance upgrades. The cooling system, in particular, has seen some significant upgrades, with the turbochargers, engine, gearbox, and differential now maintaining optimal temperatures more efficiently, all courtesy of that roof scoop. These enhancements have given Bolide the ability to rev higher and harder, improving its responsiveness. Conclusion. So, the Bolide is nothing short of another genuine work of art on wheels from the famed French automaker that has the ability to deliver some savage performance. Remember that, essentially, the Bolide began as a research project by Bugatti, with a focus on the car's power, lightness, and, of course, the quickest possible lap times around a racetrack. Bugatti also wanted to gauge if there was a market for such an extreme vehicle. As it turns out, there indeed is one, because the Bolide has managed to attract a niche clientele, who are in fact after such extreme performance. This was enough to convince Bugatti to put the Bolide into production, which will manufacture just 40 examples. As with the Ferrari FXX program, the Bolide is only available for track use and is compliant with the FIA's safety standards. The very first vehicles will not see a racing circuit until 2024, and the privileged 40 customers will have to shell out at least €4 million. $4.72 million.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.